why can't we just have the same specs just in a smaller package? I'm talking down to the battery. All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. So today we're going to be looking at just over a week with the Pixel 6 Pro, and it's been absolutely phenomenal. There are some things that could get better with time, I'm sure, but we're going to talk about it today. Google sent these out to Team Pixel members officially a little over a week ago, and I have been enjoying mine. And we're going to talk about hardware, my thoughts on the screen, things like that after a week. It's just a good device. So I also purchased the Pixel 6, and Google also sent over this beautiful official Google case. And when I bought my Pixel 6, I bought this case too because I really like it. I normally don't buy official cases from companies, but this thing has been absolutely great, man. It is a great feel. It's more tough than it looks. It's fantastic, and I recommend this case for sure. So first thing we're going to look at is hardware. Now, this phone comes in several colors, 3 different arrays for both models. This is the Stormy Black, which is kind of like, I love their naming convention because it's not really black. the sides are black or whatever, but yeah. And I started with the Sort of Sunny, and now I have the Stormy Black. As you can see, you're probably thinking, Jay, your initial video? Yeah, the Sort of Sunny is beautiful. But after some use, immediately after using that color for 24 hours, if that, I said, you know what, this is probably a little too feminine for me. Even with the case on it, I knew because I don't wear cases on devices most of the time, and this color just kind of suits me better. And the cloudy silver, whatever it's called, the silver clouds, that's actually the best color, I think. So nonetheless, colors aside, the device itself is absolutely fantastic. So hardware. The hardware on here is what you've been asking for and what I've been asking for. Google has given us premium hardware, and some would say, oh, they're giving us a flagship. If that's the way you want to name it, that's fine with me. But this is absolutely beautiful hardware. This is a completely different, a total switch from what they were doing before, and it is much welcomed. You got this two-tone design, and you got this very large camera bump on here. There's a lot of advantages to that camera bump. If you text on a table, you're gonna love this because it doesn't wobble. There's no wobble. So it runs all the way across, and when you look at this, it probably looks huge in photos, but when you get yours in hand, you're gonna say, oh, that's not bad. It's gonna give you some Nexus 6P vibes, But the bump, you can see, is smaller than it protrudes, not like what it looks like in the pictures. That's how I feel about it once I got it in hand. So yeah, the camera bump is there for a reason though, because this thing produces some fantastic photos. We'll talk about that. You don't have a headphone jack or anything like that, but you do have the Type-C, and you have the 6.7-inch display with an in-screen fingerprint reader. You don't have to press the power button to get to the fingerprint reader. The way you get to this screen right here, and you'll be able to access your fingerprint reader without turning on the screen, is enable always on display, and the fingerprint reader is going to always be active, as you can see. So you have this 6.7-inch Quad HD display of Quad HD display goodness. I brought up one of my older videos to give it a test to show you that this thing is absolutely beautiful. Over video, I do have a screen protector on here, and I'm going to be switching to a matte screen protector because that's my favorite. But also we'll talk about the feel of the device as well. But the display over video, I just can't stress enough how beautiful it is, and it's hard to show things over the camera. But I will tell you that you will be absolutely pleased with this display. No ifs, ands, or buts. This Quad HD display is absolutely great. Now, as far as the other parts of the hardware, it does have stereo speakers, and they're loud. Let me show you here. They're loud, but oops, I hit the wrong button. They're loud, but most phones I have to run them at about 75% to get the gist of it. We're on this kind of park or hiking or whatever. And shot some slow-mo and then some 4K 60. And, people brag about the iPhone being great. But, hey, it's good enough for most people. I know it is. Now, as far as the other parts of the hardware, this will be that slippery glass back that you all know and love from all the current phones out today. It's nothing new. So, and Google's device isn't an exception. I don't like the slippery backs. But I do like to wear my phones without a case. So the upside to that is I can put a skin on it. SophieGuard.com is where I recommend you purchase your skins. Great relationship with them. They send over a lot of skins, but I also have purchased my fair share of skins from them. And I will have skins for this device for my 6 Pro and my 6. They're going to send skins over for both, and I'm super excited about that. So let me point out the hardware. Hardware, I think this looks good. Some people might frown upon this big bar on the top where the camera is housed and everything. That doesn't even bother me, because how often do you really walk around holding your phone, looking at the back of your phone? Other people see that. And I can guarantee you, when people see this, they're going to say, whoa, what is that? Case in point, I was in the Apple store picking up my brand new MacBook Pro 14, the M1 Pro models. I had this phone when I went to the Apple store. And they said, I was selling my Mac Mini back to them. And when I pulled out my phone to show my receipt or whatever, something I pulled out, they were like, what is that? It's not an Apple phone. I said, nope. And I think I was funny with it. I was like, this is the new Google phone. And people in the store was like, wow, dude, really? And I was like, yes, really. Team Pixel, baby, even in the Apple store. But the hardware is going to stand out to most people, and they will know that you have something different. If that's your thing, and especially with all these different colors, the hardware is going to be impressive to you. Now, the offside of that for me is that I don't prefer a larger phone, even though I have these giant mittens right here. I prefer a smaller powerhouse device, which is why I'm excited about the 6. The 6 may have some differences, but in fact, the 6, I think, is probably going to be the purchase that most people should probably pick up. It is $300 less than this device, and the differences, well, the differences are the differences. But will people really, genuinely, truly see those differences in day-to-day use? I doubt it. Now, another thing about the hardware is the battery. Now, when I showed my battery video, here's where I went to. And I showed you battery usage here. And then some of you guys said, oh, Jay, you're doing it wrong. You're not showing your accurate battery. All right, so here's where people wanted me to go. Now, when you match your numbers up on your battery, you're going to go, and people say, oh, so you're confused. Okay. When you match your numbers up in your battery, they should match what's in here. Now, the reason this is, for me, the same as the other screen I showed, because you're going to look at this and say, oh, you've got 95% left with 2 hours of screen on time. Not correct. This is an overlap from yesterday. So I literally just took this phone off the chart. Now, my battery number showed at, I think, 19% in the other video, or 20%. They showed 7 hours and 45 minutes with 21% left. The reason people are saying, oh, go to this screen, you get your real numbers, because you click on each day, but the days overlap. They overlap. So yesterday, I was at 5 hours and 25 minutes when I ended the day and went to sleep. I didn't charge the phone yesterday. I charged it just a little while ago. So my average battery life is about 7 hours and 45 minutes almost every time, because there's an overlap. I just took this phone off the charger, and I've been shooting this video since I had it off the charger. Now, it's down to 95% because of all the outtakes with this video. Mic on, mic not on, camera not, something's going wrong. But an hour and 45 minutes of this, or roughly, is probably for today. So you choose what you want to believe with the screen on time. But let me tell you, I don't measure my phone by screen on time. I measure it by how long I'm off the battery or off the charger. And this phone goes well over a day off the charger. That is what's important. The screen on time is there, but I think if you're really trying to measure your phone's battery usage, just consider how long you're off of the charger. That's the way I think people should measure their battery. But if you want to look at screen on time, I'm getting 7 hours and 45 minutes almost every time, with about 20% left when I end the day. I mean, like a full day. So you measure it how you want to measure it. This 5,003 milliamp hour battery should boss up on you, and you should be able to make it through a full day. Now, I do have the display set to 120 hertz. I don't take it off of that. I've left it there. Let's see, smoothness. Where's that thing at? Smoothness. There we go. It's been on like that since default, and I've left it there. Yeah, I don't take it off. So performance on this thing, I think you'll be happy with it. I mean, basic things that people are doing. I've actually edited a video on here in PowerDirector Pro, and I think PowerDirector Pro is just one of the best editing tools. People have their favorites, but I like PowerDirector Pro. It's flexible enough, and I just really like it on Android. Everybody has a preference, but I've edited videos on here, and the Tensor chip. People are saying that it's weak or whatever. You have your thoughts about it. I don't run benchmarks, but I've heard other people say that this benchmarks just under the 888 in some areas, but then explodes and surpasses the 888 in other areas. So that's why I don't really take benchmarks as something that I'm going to measure my phone's performance by. For me, it's app crashes and, did it open up that app fast enough for me for when I'm trying to hurry and get something done? Twitter is an app that I frequently just go to check out things. I don't really get on Twitter too much, but it's always working. Like Instagram is where I pretty much do a lot of interaction for social media. And then also on my YouTube community tab. That is where I pretty much live. And those things have never, and also my studio app, for that studio app right there is for YouTube content creators. And I personally do not, shout out to Grant S, dropping the load on him. He's putting in work. But I personally do not measure performance based on benchmarks, because day-to-day tasks, no one's walking around checking benchmarks every day to see if their device is performing well. They're just not doing it. No one does that. But I will tell you, the Tensor chip has not failed me yet. All right. So I got a phone call, but we're back. Now, talking about the Tensor chip, it has never failed me at all. I don't anticipate it failing me at all. But there's no heating issues. There's just no problems with the chip performing at all. And if there is a problem, you can rest assured I will report it to you. But it's only been a week. And also, people are just now getting their units, like consumers, regular people who bought the phone, regular consumers who got it. Because, folks, this phone is selling like hotcakes. It is extremely backordered. But regular folks who just got the phone, they're just not getting their units. So that's where you'll start to see like, oh my gosh, I'm having a problem. And they're not going to run to the internet and report it. They're going to check with the carrier. They're going to check with Google. That's what they're going to do. So let's help them out. And if we have issues, we'll report it. And we'll get some videos up if we how to resolve some things and things like that. It'll come with time. But the Tensor chip so far, folks, is absolutely great. It's just fantastic. So there's a lot of ways to measure benchmarks on a phone, or how a phone is performing, and I just don't rely on benchmarks. I rely on day-to-day use. So the Tensor chip, check the box. It's great. Now on to probably one of the main things that people like about Google devices, shine them up, it's the cameras. So I've been testing these cameras against other devices on and off, and ultimately for me, this is subjective, but it's going to be what you like in the quality of a photo. Google's photos, and I'm going to snap some photos right here in the office and just show them to you, because I've done tons of photos on video with this. I've got a video review out. Check it out if you haven't already done so. I already put it against the iPhone 13 Pro and then the Z Flip 3. The Z Flip 3 is like one of my favorite cameras on a smartphone to date. This phone right here can do 4K 60 on the rear camera and 4K 30, up to 4K 30 on the front. And I hear some people saying, oh, it doesn't do 4K 60 on all the lenses. I just don't know when that became a thing. Like when some people used to say, I don't even use the front camera, so I don't care about selfie cameras, but time goes on and people realize I can do great things with my phone. That's what we're hearing now. So this device can do 4K 30 on the front, folks, and it's absolutely fantastic. It can do, the camera has so many functions, it's incredible. So 4K 30 on the front, and you can turn on the voice enhancement, and folks, it kills off all other noises. It's simply amazing. The rear camera, I've shown this, and some people looking back at some of those comments, people are saying, oh, I wonder if other creators have pre-release software. Folks, there's no pre-release software. We all got the device, and most of us got an update out of the box. And some people are saying, oh, Google fixed this with the latest update. My phone hasn't gotten any updates. If it got one, it was out of the box. I don't remember. But I'm on the November security patch. And that's it. And and I haven't had any more updates. Now, if there were updates, they came through the Google Play Store, like a camera update or a photo update. But yeah, other than that, I haven't gotten anything special on this device. This is a retail unit, just like everybody else's unit. And I'm not doing anything special with the camera footage. I'm just pressing record and loading it to the Mac and then giving it to you. That's it. So yeah, no editing at all. It's just straight out of the phone, drop it to the Mac, put it into the timeline, and push out whatever I'm pushing out to you. So the cameras on here to me are top notch. People always question Google's video. I personally like Google's video quality better than the iPhone and the Samsung, but that's just what I like. Some of you guys are still saying, oh, iPhone's the king. Hey, if that's what you feel, that's what you feel. But I just tell creators to put the content out. Don't finagle with it. Just put it out and keep it honest and let it show, because I don't know how my footage is so different from other people's. Now, honestly, I haven't watched that many people's videos on the cameras because I'm focusing on my channel, trying to get my content out for you guys to watch. But I know what's happening on other channels because you guys keep reporting back to me. Well, so-and-so said, and this is what happened with their camera. Why does yours look so different? I don't know why mine looks so different. I just went outside in my backyard and turned on the cameras, and I gave you the footage, and that's what it is. To me, the footage on here is absolutely stunning. And this is obviously the best Google phone that we have right now, and it should be. It's supposed to be the best Google set of cameras ever because they need growth. The Pixel 5a has some heating issues with video, and it was a bad deal. The footage on here is better than the Pixel 5a, and then better than a lot of other phones out there. And people want me to compare the 5a's cameras to these, but I don't see the point really because these cameras are much better. But I understand you want to gauge when you upgrade and you want to see exactly what you're getting. And, I can tell you, go for it. Now, you heard me say earlier that I'm excited about the Pixel 6 a little bit more. Well, the reason being is the size of the phone. Check some boxes here. I don't have to have a Quad HD display. I don't have to have the biggest display. I prefer a small powerhouse phone, so when I'm going to work out, I'm going to walk, I'm going to do anything, I want it to be comfortable in my pocket with a case on. Now, this is a large phone, folks, and then you put the case on, it's going to feel a little chunkier. It's going to feel a little chunkier. Simply put, that's what it is. It's going to feel, some lint or something in there, it's going to feel chunkier. Now, even though I have massive hands, people seem to think I want a big giant screen and a big giant phone. This is not the case. I mean, people who I chat with, you got big hands, you're supposed to have a big phone. That's not entirely true. I have no problem texting on smaller phone screens. Yes, granted, the iPhone mini is my smallest phone, but I also have the Pixel 4a, and it's got pretty much basically a 6-inch display. It's 5.8. It's beautiful. It's a good size. But the Pixel 6 is going to excite me, folks. I know I'm going to love it. And people are saying, what's your phone of the year? Well, currently right now, the Z Flip 3 is probably my phone of the year. If we were to stop right here, I can't honestly say that the Pixel 6 devices are going to be my phone of the year, but we have 2 months left. And I'm going to use this device regularly with my SIM card. It's in there. My other SIM card obviously is in one of my mini SIM cards is in this device right here. And if you haven't seen her videos, you need to go check them out. She's a beast with it, man. She's a beast with it. So this device, believe it or not, has the same size screen, but it's narrow. So if this device was a little bit more narrow, I would love it. Which is why I think I'm going to love the Pixel 6 better. Just on sheer size alone, I think I'm going to love the Pixel 6 better than the 6 Pro. It has nothing to do with screen resolution, all that stuff. The Pixel 6 Pro is 19.5 by 9. The Pixel 6 is 20 by 9. So you're going to get a narrower footprint. Just check certain things like that. So overall, this device has been fantastic, folks. I have no complaints. Other than the size of the device, I don't physically have any problems with it. I think it's probably one of the best phones on the market right now, but it's too soon for me to call it the phone of the year. I think the Pixel 6, if I'm being honest, As long as the Pixel 6 doesn't have any problems, this will be my number 2, and the Pixel 6 will be my number 1. It's just how it's going to be for me probably. As long as no problems arise, I'm fine with it. I'm happy with the call quality over T-Mobile, the network speeds. Oh, let me check the network speeds real quick for you. Let me turn off Wi-Fi. I've got a video out on my favorite features of Android 12. Come on, let's go here. I can't wait to get my new screen protectors in. All right, so here's the network. I talk about network a lot because these are unlocked phones, and you're gonna get different readings. Now in my house, I've been getting up to 500 over T-Mobile, and let me know I've used data. I have unlimited data, guys. I have unlimited data, but these are some pretty decent speeds in my house, like really good. Because when I step outside the house, up to 1,000 almost, man, it's incredible. So network is something, and that leads me over to battery life again. Battery life is one of the points that people are always going to be different on. One of the huge things about battery life is that it depends on where you live and your network strength, and if you're on Wi-Fi a lot. In my house, folks, I'm on Wi-Fi. Like, I don't need to be on T-Mobile's network. If it drops off of T-Mobile's network, great. When it drops off, I'm getting some good speed still. But overall, I'm on Wi-Fi at home, and you should be too. It's nothing wrong with being on Wi-Fi. Don't listen to people telling you to gauge your battery. Oh, it's not true numbers because you were on Wi-Fi. Of course, stay on the strongest network you have. That's just silly talk to me. Stay on the strongest network you have. Battery life is going to be an important one that I have to keep circling around to, because this ginormous battery cannot perform that great if you don't have a stable connection. You need a stable connection at all times so you can have that solid run and it's not working hard, pulling down, trying to find you the best signal. A weak cell phone signal will destroy your battery, folks. No matter how big your battery is, it'll destroy it. So, on a final note, for having this for 1 week, man, I'm absolutely loving it. My only gripe is pretty much the size. I'm ready for my Pixel 6 that I ordered, and I'm going to use this until my Pixel 6 arrives. And then I'm going to swap my Google Fi SIM card to this one and put my main T-Mobile SIM card in the 6, and then we're going to keep it pushing. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll put my Verizon SIM card in here, because I want to see how this works on Verizon's network. But yeah, live unlocked when you can. I can't stress enough how much I'm appreciative and thankful and blessed to be a part of the selected few that actually get these devices sent out early. I'm always going to remain that way. My thoughts are my own, so I'm glad, I don't have to send this video. Google doesn't tell us, just so you know, they don't tell us to do video reviews of these devices. They just want us to help support them with the devices by showing people some high points on it. That's just a part of the game. But, you can't go along and not think there's just going to be some, flawless run. If I had to choose, I'm going to always go with probably the smaller. I don't like tiny phones, but 6.7 is not my preference. It's just what it is. Some people like I want companies to do Quad HD displays on smaller devices, Google. If you can do it, why didn't you put a Quad HD display on the smaller one? No, why? You got the Tensor chip, it can handle it. You got all these things. Why not do it? I want a Quad HD small pixel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like a Quad HD display. Why can't we just have the same specs just in a smaller package? I'm talking down to the battery. The battery on the Pixel 6 is 4600. You can fit a 5,000 milliamp hour battery in the Pixel 6. It's a 6.4-inch display. You can fit a Quad HD display in the Pixel 6. You know what I mean? Like, I know it may raise the price $100, but whatever. There's a $300 gap in between these phones. And you got to ask yourself, when you dig down deep into it, is it really worth it? And I'll know once I get my Pixel 6. So there it is, folks. My 1 week follow-up. I'm super pumped. Yeah, we're just going to let the tech do the talking. You'll see an unboxing, and I'll record that unboxing, hopefully with this device. I might use my camera, my Sony, obviously, or I might use the Z Flip 3 because I think this has some good pro mode features in the camera. But hey, it is what it is. We're gonna knock it out with the Pixel. I think Google has a serious winner with the Pixel 6. We'll see, though. We'll see. I feel like that now, but we'll see once I get mine in. It's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.